We have for poor people, right? We have that's for poor people. Who buys it? People food service, man. I don't buy cannabis products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it.
Now, these are the allegations in a suit filed in Michigan State Court earlier this month. The suit was filed by Robert Garza. He's a cybersecurity analyst, or had been a cybersecurity analyst for the company. And in his suit, he says he was racially discriminated against and harassed and unfairly fired. And that firing came after a discussion he had with an executive with the company who is the VP of cybersecurity. And Garza says in the suit he thought he was going to have a discussion about wages. But during the discussion, he had to listen to rants from the executive about how he didn't like the food.
Even in a can of soup, I look at it, we could eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Get where.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Thing Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And I know everybody done heard about this thing, but I just want to warn you or keep it in the front of your mind. This is why you say you got to get back to yourselves. You got to grow your own stuff. You got to raise your own animals because these people have no love for you. Now I know there's millions of so-called Black and African Americans that'll say something like, and this is how they get their lawsuits started too. I didn't know that. Yeah, you do know. These people abhor you, but they can always count on you to come lick their hand and smooth everything over. All those soup commercials you guys are doing, man, I didn't know, huh? They don't do that. So when it's time for you to claim your land, like the sister Lisa Cypress do, this is what we get. We get those kind of Negroes. Won't even think about the land that they come from, the people that they come from. Won't even say a word. That's the African American and Black. So that's what I'm saying. The indigenous people are separate from those people. Because those indigenous people, they're looking in for the long haul. No matter what happens, African Americans and Blacks, they'll for about 5 seconds, then they'll go back to Conan. Listen, I left the link to the chat at the top of the conversation. If anybody thinks that I'm lying or I'm saying something that makes sense, please step up and explain it. Point out where I am. And if I am, I won't do what other people do. These people that are running these food operations, they're burning bioengineered food. If you go into any store, it'll say made with bioengineered food ingredients. Damn near everything you pick on the store. Ritz crackers, bioengineered food ingredients. Look it up. Next time you're in the store, go down any aisle, anywhere, and pick up and read the ingredients. You're not eating food. With the bioengineering, with what they're spraying in the sky, what they're spraying over your city that you breathe, all of this because as a nation, we don't make a noise to say stop it. We don't want our children to have, we just go along with it, especially the men. The men will get in and boss, can I fly the plane? Don't you? Right? So when we have all of these so-called people talking all of this stuff, are we got our food supply together? Because this is what you have to do when you're pulling away from somebody that keeps putting their foot in your ass. You stop wanting to be around them. You stop wanting to talk to them. You will go your whole life without even speaking to them. I'm talking about the African American and Black. I'm not talking about indigenous people who are on this line. You make sure that everybody's comfortable in your house. Guess who you make feel uncomfortable in your house? Your brother or sister. I got a couple of emails, or no, not emails, texts I want to share with you guys today. Because really, people are really starting to look at this how it is. And it's cool. Most people don't. Most people don't care. I got cussed out showing the same video I just shown you out. There you go. That conspiracy theorist. So if you listen to the piece that I just played, you'll see that one of the other CEOs said, if it was him saying it, it was him saying it. But they're covering their asses. This is what the CEO of probably, I don't know if it's the biggest, but I do know what he says. He says, poor people, code word for what? We won't believe it. He didn't mean us. People who buy food in cans, cancer. We don't get it. We don't get it. Cheap food. While they show you all on the big screen, they're the best cooks in the world. They come in and tell you your food ain't shit. And they're just learning how to cook. You taught them, didn't you? I'm pointing this out to make out so you can see how African American or Blacks, how they're done, how they allow themselves to be used. Bioengineered. This dude said the meat is 3D printed. Now, I know many of you guys have heard all this before, but this is the CEO. This is the people who will make in a year what your great grandmother and father would make, what your grandmother and grandfather would make, what your significant other would make, what your children and their significant make. He makes this in a year. This is what they're feeding you. Or it's not what they're feeding you, it's you allowing them to feed you and support it. Support it. Won't think about it. Won't care. As a matter of fact, to let you know, you're still fasting for ancestors, to pay homage to your ancestors, the one who are calling you, and I know you hear them telling you that this is your home. It's an explosion now. So all those years and all y'all like, you hate your African self. You see it now. You see it. More evidence is coming out. People are like, you're right. The ones who couldn't hide it no more, the ones who were paid to be Greek and whatever else, Boule, whatever else, you can't deny it no more. Those of you who keep running away, you're not it anyway. See, don't think that some of these Atiska folks that was coming over there, Atiska, look it up, were people over from where they talking about now, the Africans. Anybody that claims that they're you, oh, come on in, we're buddies. Isn't that how it's done? Isn't that how it's done? It's exactly how it's done. Please don't put your children in that position. Look out for them. Here's a text I got today. And the young lady called me later and just told me to just marinate on it. Well, let her know that I've been marinated on it for about 20 years and sharing it for about 20 years. And, hopefully you'll get more action out of it than I got. Here's what this sister said. Imagine the mountains of so-called Negroes could move if they sent the same vibes out in unison. Imagine that. Okay, man, Hot Bay. I'm sure Lisa sends her peace and love too. She's fine. He's just trying to wipe the gel off of her. She'll be here soon and explain what they do. And the only thing that's holding us back is fear. So all the people that said, oh, I don't like her. Oh, I'm glad it's happening to her. Fear. And most people are. So, but there's other things that we carry in our favor. Fearful people won't be able to hold it. So, everything is all right. And she thanks everybody for their well wishes. But she says, this is just beginning. And if we're fearful, we might as well go sit at home somewhere. Because you're right, but you think somebody better than you. Just because they lie, you know what they've done, and you know what they've done to you. And won't even stand up. So remember this, you have children, grandchildren, probably great-grandchildren. What about them? You gonna let the same thing happen to you, happen to them? And then write how much you love them, and we're supposed to just be like, that's so pretty. It's like the sister said, if we stood up in unison, if we told the same story, how would that work out in our favor? Think about that when you go into bed tonight or whatever. Only I said What if we all said the same incantation at the same time? Imagine. Or we all went out and stomped on the ground at the same time. Imagine that. You possess powers that even yourself don't know. Find out who you are and start using them. That's all it takes. I know what's the show on now? Family Feud is on. You got to get in and watch that. Knock yourself out. So we're not telling you anything here dumb, stupid, what's on the TV, on the radio. We're trying to counteract that with simple stuff that you should know. Like you ain't nothing what somebody else calls you. You are what you are. Find out what it is. It's that simple. So the CEO of Campbell's Soup is telling you that they're selling you printed meat. The FDA didn't catch it. None of these so-called watchdog groups caught that. It took the CEO of the company to say, I don't eat that shit. For somebody to see something. Again, sir. Watch what's being said to you so your children can pick it up. Weren't you somebody's kid at one time? Weren't somebody's responsibility to take care of you, look after you, make sure that you didn't get into any BS? It's your turn now. All this stuff you hearing, all these people you hear, listen to what they say. You should be able to pick out the bullshit within a minute. A minute. I mean, y'all let Umar Johnson slide for about 20 years. You don't find that strange? Should have knew that on day one. It wouldn't have went that long. Yeah, we know he had allies. They had people fronting for him. Habit, I don't know what that says. Let's try the incantation soon. Directed energy. We can try it Thursday morning. What about that? So it's 20 people here. How will it get out? How many so-called Black people, African Americans, Hebrew Israelites, people, do you, let alone listen to this, do you think it is in the country? Don't go on what nobody else tells you, because you know the people who does the counting hate you. That's one of the guys, the Campbell Soup guys. Do you think they'll tell you that you're more than 13%, low bottom number? They'll tell you it's more him. And my question to you is, where do you go in the world where the indigenous people are less than the people who come over? Just because somebody told you is so, you'll believe it. Elkiman Habe, she's not in jail anymore. She's not in jail anymore. She's been out. She'll be on here soon. She's just upset, you know, that black people don't care. Come on. I mean, we gotta be honest about it. Because you keep lying, you're hiding it. The people who wanted to know about her found out easily. I had her on here while she was in jail. So we gotta be honest. Something that most of us don't know how to do, quite frankly. We like lying. We love lying. That's all we do. I'm not saying you 25 on here, 16 on here, but that's what we do. So there's going to be a time to step up, every single last one of us, with their guns, with their helicopters and airplanes. We're going to have to win this, and we are. If you knew the power you had, you would wield it. But since you try to run away from yourself all the time, you'll never get it. Pre-3D printed meat in a can. Now, I'm sure many of you guys don't even touch the stuff, but guess how many people do who just say, I'm poor. I can barely breathe. I'm so poor. Imagine the people who do that. Imagine the people when they hear truth, they don't know anything. When you ask them, well, why are you getting mad? You just telling us. Tell me something different. And they can't. So that's why for me, when you get in, there's no need to get in arguments with people. You ask a question, I ask a question. And if we can't get to some reasoning on the reality of it, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here because every time I walk past a television set, your face is on the screen doing something stupid. That they just say that. Really? So if I go ask the mothers who lost their kids what happened, they'll say that. It's just a lying. So you're gonna have to come to the conclusion that these so-called people call them imps. Just gotta always go out and buy somebody else's alcohol. Whatever a foreigner sells, they're there to buy it. Isn't that what the African American does? That's probably one of the only things that they do. Imagine what would happen to sales because I guess it's another, what you call that, boycott on things coming up. Imagine if that went on for 10, 20 years. Imagine if it went on for 20 years. And you know, I see you guys are caring for Lisa. She'll be back on. She'll be back on soon. Just got to get that taste out of her mouth. So That's basically what I wanted to share with you. What that CEO of this soup and Nat Campbell Soup Company is probably one of the oldest corporations in America. I'm not saying it's the oldest. I'm saying it's one of them. And not only what they are doing, what are some of these other, you don't know what, read these ingredients. Read what's in them. Imagine how much damage they're doing because people just don't read the label. What I tell Lisa tonight is that many people were asking about her, see if we can get her on a lot sooner, you know? So listen, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Listen, beware the food, especially this is the day that everybody gorges themselves to death. Beware of the food. See, this is what I'm saying. See, this is the only place I get this. Copper Colored Lifestyle says they're literally saying bioengineered ingredients. It's not a secret. Now, if I go somewhere else and say that, nigga, you a lie. You just hate yourself. She's telling you the truth. You go walk in any store and read it. But they know that you don't read. They're not saying the people because Copper Colored Lifestyle, she does. I'm saying the people that call themselves Black African American, not only don't they read, most of them can't read. Like I said it. Anybody want to come prove that theory? I'll prove it to you. You can't read. What percentage? About 90% can't read. There's one component you have to have with reading, and that's comprehension. You gotta know what you read. The African American, from the Bible to the books they read at school, they don't know what they don't know what they're doing. April Dawn said she posted on her Facebook months ago that Campbell soup has bioengineered ingredients and showed I was making my own cream of mushrooms. People don't listen. Do you think, April, they don't listen or something they can't hear? The music they're listening to does something to their hearing. I'm serious. I was talking to this brother. He wanted to be a rapper, and I asked him, oh, why are you trying to get into music and you don't even know what music is? Oh, what do you mean I don't know what music is? You know music isn't made from a computer. It's made from an instrument, right? You can make music do it. Okay, knock yourself out, sir. There's people out there who know. There's people out here who are way ahead of this game. April's one of them. Copper Colored Lifestyle's another. I'm talking the majority. So, I like to give examples to what I'm talking about so I can put it in some context because everybody is saying not me. So I like to do percentages. Example, let's take a football stadium. 100,000-foot football stadium. That's what we'll use for measurements now. How many people in a stadium that large can read? Just take a guesstimate. Compared to how the world is going now, the earth how the inhabitants of the earth are treating the earth, how many people do you think care in the football stadium? 3, 4%? Seriously. And you think others are taking care of your land for you? For real, cuz? So this is where we're at. So this is what I'm here. I'm not here for the like 60-year-olds to 40 years old. I'm basically here just putting this message out, hoping it'll get to the 5, 6-year-olds. Because you see how the kids treated the lady and her son. Was that Chicago? The world is watching. The world is watching. And now they have AI as an ally. Do what your great, 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 great grandmothers and fathers were doing before they came and dropped bombs and turned their guns on them. What were they thinking about? What were they doing? How did they live? How did they move around? How they end up all over this place? That's you. April Don said, possibly, or they just don't care. You see, they don't play no instruments no more, and there are those who play. I'm not. Everything is not 100% on the nose. No, there's a few people, but where you used to have each high school had 3 or 4 bands out of the high school. Now everybody just trying to play ball, thinking that's your way out. It ain't. It ain't. So I just wanted to come on here about 30 minutes. Since this is a big eat holiday, check the food you put in your mouth. And we still are fasting for the ancestors that cheer you on and cheer me on. You guys have a good evening. Peace.